There is something you need to understand right now, something that might change the way you see everything, Yoga Ru. Because what you're feeling, that confusion, that heaviness, that sense of being lost, it's not random. You didn't end up here by accident. And even if it feels like everything around you is uncertain, there is something happening that you cannot see yet. Because sometimes life feels the most confusing. It's actually the moment when things are being realigned. When something is being removed, so something better can take its place. I know it doesn't feel like that right now. I know it feels like things are falling apart. Like nothing is working. Like you've been trying and nothing is changing. But what if this is not the end of your path? What if this is a redirection? What if God is moving you away from something that was never meant to stay? Because sometimes we hold on to things that are not meant to grow with us. We try to force situations. We try to keep people. We try to control outcomes that were never ours to control. And when those things start to fall apart, it hurts. It feels like loss. It feels like something important is being taken away. But in reality, something is being cleared. Something is being prepared. Something is making space. And even in this moment, even in this confusion, God is still working in your life. Even when you don't feel it. Even when you don't understand it. Even when everything seems silent. Because silence does not mean absence. Silence does not mean nothing is happening. Sometimes silence means something is being built in a way you cannot see yet. And maybe what you're feeling right now is something deeper than confusion. Maybe it's exhaustion. Maybe it's the weight of trying to hold everything together for too long. Trying to stay strong. Trying not to break. Trying to keep going even when you don't have the energy anymore. And no one really sees that part. No one sees the nights where your mind won't stop. No one sees the moments where you feel like giving up, but you don't. You keep going even when it hurts. Even when you feel empty. Even when you feel like nothing is changing. And that matters more than you think. Because God sees that. He sees your effort. He sees your struggle. He sees the strength you don't even realize you have. And even when you feel like you're at your limit, you're still here, still standing, still searching. And that means something. That means there is still purpose in your life, even if you can't see it yet. Because purpose is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's hidden in the middle of pain. Hidden in the middle of waiting. Hidden in the middle of uncertainty. But it's there. And maybe right now, you don't need all the answers. Maybe you don't need to understand everything. Maybe all you need is to take one more step. Just one. Not 10 steps. Not the whole path. Just one step forward. One moment of trust. One decision to not give up. Because sometimes that's all it takes to change everything. One moment, one shift, one decision to keep going when everything inside you wants to stop. And that's where transformation begins. Not when everything is perfect, but when you choose to keep moving, even when it's hard, even when it doesn't make sense, even when you don't see the outcome. Because that's faith. And faith is what carries you through moments like this. Because the truth is, most people only move when things are easy. Most people only believe when they can see. Most people only keep going when everything makes sense. But you're not here by accident. There is something different about you. Something that refuses to give up. Something that keeps searching even when it's hard. Even when it hurts. Even when nothing seems to be working. That's not weakness. That's strength. That's something God placed inside you. Because not everyone keeps going in moments like this. Not everyone keeps believing. Not everyone keeps standing. But you do. And even if you don't feel strong, even if you feel tired, even if you feel like you're at your limit, you're still here. And that matters. Because sometimes the biggest breakthrough doesn't come when everything is going right. It comes right after the moment you almost gave up. Right after the moment you thought you couldn't continue. Right after the moment where everything felt too heavy. That's where things begin to shift. That's where something changes. Not outside first, but inside you. And once something changes inside you, everything around you starts to follow. Your perspective changes. Your strength changes. Your direction changes. And suddenly, what once felt impossible doesn't feel the same anymore. That's why this moment matters. Even if it feels small. Even if it feels like nothing is happening. Because something is happening. You're being shaped. You're being strengthened. You're being prepared for something greater than what you see right now. And maybe right now, you're trying to find answers. You're trying to understand why things are happening like this. But not everything is meant to be understood immediately. Some things are meant to be trusted first and only understood later. That's where faith comes in. Not when everything is clear, but when nothing makes sense and you still choose to trust. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. This means you won't always see what God is doing. You won't always understand the direction. But that doesn't mean He is not guiding you, because He is here. Even now, even in this exact moment, even in the situation you're in, you are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not alone. And what feels like a delay might actually be protection. What feels like rejection might actually be redirection. What feels like confusion might actually be alignment. You're not going backwards. You're being repositioned. You're being prepared. You're being guided, even if you can't see it yet. So don't give up now. Don't walk away now. Don't lose your faith in the middle of the process. Because something is happening. Something is shifting. Something is changing inside you and around you. And one day, you're going to look back at this moment and realize this is where everything started to change. This is where things began to make sense. This is where your life took a different direction. And you'll understand that you were never lost. You were being led.